Good YouTube coming to our one with the hottest topic of the day, and as Billy Donovan ended up getting let go of the position for the Bulls as their head coach. He plans on continuing to be a coach after this. The Bulls are obviously going in a different direction. They're rebuilding, so it makes sense for him to say, I don't really see this team being good now, and even if we do it take a couple years, I probably want to jump on the ship of another team that's already in position to win more. But I like what he was doing as a coach. I liked how he was handling his responsibilities. I liked his mentality a lot of the time. He came in even as an OKC coach, and you had to look at it and say, a lot of people were looking at it then saying, well, they're going in a different direction. So they're not going to be as talented as you think for a long period of time as a person like Billy Donovan will want. And then he put his trust in Sam Presti and those guys because he thought that they can actually put a team around them and possibly be able to win a championship as a head coach in the NBA. So he did a good job of coaching in the NBA and also as a coach um, in college, and then he ended up getting a deal with the Thunder and the Chicago Bulls. But he actually won the championship divisions in college. He did have a lot of success there. He wanted to step up and show that he can be a legitimate coach in the NBA. It was something that he just wanted to get done and accomplish, and it makes sense for him to try to get it done at the highest level when it comes to basketball. But this isn't a bad move for Chicago. You know, it's just mutual. Like, y'all going in this direction, it makes sense for y'all to get a younger guy, get a guy that wants to prove himself, get a guy that wants to build something special. I know I've been here for years and I've been grinding it out with y'all, and y'all have mutual respect for me. Y'all like how I went about things. Y'all like how we was trying to rise together in Chicago, but it just never became anything serious or anything competitive when it came to the talent and when it came to him being able to win at a high level with the organization in Chicago. And like I said, he went to OKC when it was burning. You know, it was slowly going downhill. So it was good for him to get his name out there, good to show what he can do. But it was also a tough situation because you knew that you possibly wouldn't be able to win a championship there. Although when you got there, you felt like you had a shot. Let's just take it. Let's see what happens. This is my first time. And I like a lot of the things they're doing culture wise. I like a lot of things that they're doing, with me when he got there and through the years he was there. But, he can never really get it done with them either. But I think that he's still going to be a coach that people going to look at and say, we probably can't get nothing better right now. We probably can't really get nothing right now that we like because of the coaches that's available. Either they're recyclable ones or they're young coaches that you don't really know what they really going to bring to the table. And Billy Donovan, he can't do that at 60. He wants to probably get into another winning situation or a situation that's on the verge of winning, something significant. And it makes sense at his age. But other than that, I like what he did. I like what the Bulls did. I understand that he had another year. Maybe he should have just took the last year of that deal. It does make sense though that he ended up having 6 seasons, and it didn't really become a successful one at all with the Bulls. The Bulls wanted to retain him as the head coach despite their front office changes, but the Bulls fired executive vice president of basketball operations, which they ended up doing April 6th. So they went in a different direction with the GM, and then they still said we like Billy Donovan, we like what he brings to the table, but he wasn't really interested because Donovan decided to allow the Bulls to have a clean break as they searched for a new basketball executive. Donovan met with the Bulls ownership over the past week and was given the opportunity to stay as head coach and even in a new managerial capacity role. And then Donovan plans to continue his coaching career and will be one of the leading candidates for teams with vacancy in the NBA. Donovan has received interest, this is factual news, not rumors, from the New York Knicks during the 2025 offseason before they ended up going with Mike Brown and Tom Thibodeau. So those was the guys they felt like we'll take this guy, we'll take a chance on Mike Brown. And now he also, the new University of North Carolina also wanted to interview him, but he eventually moved forward with hiring Michael Malone, and that's what they did for the University of Carolina. So they found somebody else too, but he was still looking at it like, let me observe my options, let me see what I can do, let me see what's all out there, and let me just take my time, enjoy some time with the family. I'm already getting paid. I already made my impact known at the NBA and at the highest level. So what's the rush? Why force it? Why rush it? And let's just see what ends up happening in the off season, and see if I can get a good interview and a good chance to earn a spot as a head coach in the NBA again. And it is kind of interesting that he was even possibly considering going back to college. You know, a lot of those teams would love to have a guy with NBA experience, and he's just going to have to take a bigger role because you got to recruit and do all that stuff. But he already has experience in that field too, so it makes sense for them to try to say, well, this probably is one of the best candidates available when it comes to head coaches, and that's why it made sense for teams to be interested in giving him a chance. So I just hope he has a good success in the future. I just hope he gets himself in a good spot to where he feels like he can win something unique, feels like he can win something special from day one. I just don't want him getting in a situation where 2, 3 years from now we'll be good. Hopefully, let's try to hit it in the draft. Let's try to find a way to sign a big free agent. We done seen so many general managers get fired with that lately, where you was supposed to get the draft situations figured out. You was supposed to nail the free agents. You ain't doing that enough. You ain't getting us further enough. We still a okay team, or we just a playoff team. We not really considered a championship team, and that can be frustrating, that can be annoying sometimes, and head coaches are starting to feel that same pressure that, this is making me look bad, this is making my record look terrible, this is making me look like a coach that ain't preparing and doing things right. And a lot of that has to do with the lack of talent, and the NBA is a situation where 1 minute, like he did with OKC, you can be trying to win, and the next minute you're trying to retool and win what you got, and next thing you know, you with a team that's not really competitive enough to be a threat in the conference or even in the NBA in general, as a team that can win even a playoff spot. And like I said, when he got to Chicago, they had some good players, but they was never really on a championship level. They was a competitive team at first, but they never was a team that can win it all, or we felt that can win it all, and they never did. And then it went downhill from there as players got a little beat up, toe up, and old. And I think he just needs to be a little bit smarter and a little bit more patient with what he picks this time, because it just too many jobs out there where it's chaos. Too many jobs out there where they're holding their cards. They're not really paying attention enough. They're not really doing their job as fully as they should. And now you're entering that situation, and now they're trying to figure it all out with you too. And then you realize the page ain't all the way full when it comes to the organization and the general manager and you all being on the same page to be able to move in a positive direction to where y'all can turn it around and be a successful team in unit. And that's what this was supposed to be. Everybody's supposed to be all in with the decisions, and everybody's supposed to be knowing what's going on, and stuff shouldn't be hidden, and things shouldn't be going on behind closed doors without me being involved in it, since I'm a part of it. So I get it. I understand where he's coming from. I understand what he's trying to accomplish. I understand what he's trying to do with his career. You got to have your best interests and your best mindset when you're going into jobs that have so many different people involved, so many cooks in the kitchen, and it's tough to be able to get, everything done at a high level, which you have to do in the NBA, because they always look at the coaches as scapegoat. Maybe if we get rid of the coach, or maybe if we let him go now, we'll be able to win. And that's what the GM gonna feel. That's the organization gonna feel, that if the coach is the problem, or we can't really get the talent to really mesh as well, get rid of him first. You don't want to get in the job like that, especially on top of that if it ain't a winning situation. Now, if you go to a team that's a playoff team and you're trying to help them get over the hump, then I can see them going for you that way too. But it's sad that the coaches are always the scapegoat. They're always the first to go. And I just hope he don't find one of them situations where I'm back in as a head coach. I'm going to be the reason why they're going to be winning. I'm going to be the reason why they're going to be overachieving. And now, since I didn't do that, I got to get fired. All I only got was 2 years. And that was really it, because I couldn't really show what I can do when it came to making the team at a higher level. So that's a trap situation. That's something that coaches are trying to avoid more. But it comes with the territory. It comes with being an NBA coach. And you just hope that he picks the right spot and does it for the right reasons and have a lot of success because he is a solid coach. He's one of the better minds, and I think he's going to be one of the top 10 available coaches that you can get with experience. And he also has a good track record where he had good amount of talents and still got good results, even when it came to wins. And you just hope that he can bring that into a situation and help them really achieve something that they really want to do as a team and as a whole organization. So good luck to Big Billy Donovan. Chicago, they got some young talent. They got some free agent things they got to figure out. They got some guys they got to pay. They got some guys they may have to move around. We're going to see what they do on the draft, but we know they're going to be bad for a couple years before they really get good. So no matter what coach they get, it's not going to be a coach that really makes them just blow us out the water with expectations. Even if they make a playoff run, they could have did that this year if they didn't really just pull the plug on it. So adding more talent is the best way for them to make the playoffs. But at the same time, we know the Bulls is about winning titles. And they haven't done that since the 90s. And that's what they're trying to prove that they can do. And that's what they're trying to get. So we'll see if they're able to do that without Billy Donovan. And we'll see what they do in the offseason when it comes to hiring a coach. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share. Hit the notification bell to get that analysis when it first come out. Y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I'll see y'all later today with more analysis, hopefully.